Hare Krishna. I hope all of you are able. Hare Krishna. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaputle Srimati Radha Swaminitina. Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Putle Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swamini. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaurvani Pracharini Nirvisita Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatarini Om Jnanatimitsya Jnanajan Salakaya Chak Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manubhishtam Uttale Kadamahyam Dhati Svapadantikam Vandegam Kamam Sri Guru Vaishnavan Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sakagana Raghutam Sajeevam Advaitam Sabhutam Parijana Sagitam Krishna Chaitanya Krishna Padan Sakagana Lalita Sri Visakanvitam He Krishna Kando Jagatpati Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kantana Murte Taptakan Chandavani Sri Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarviyascha Kripa Sindhubhyaye Vamanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Rama Anadi Radhi Govindaga Sarva Karana Karanam Om Tat Sat Hare Krishna. First of all, I want to thank our President Mandir, Sir Ajit Kumar Prabhu, and Mohanan Prabhu, Srinivasan Prabhu, and all the devotees who have organized this wonderful program. This is a wonderful service to Krishna. And that too is happening in the temple of Lord Ayyappa. So, our goal, our topic today is how to control the restless mind. It's a very important topic, and also I want to thank all the devotees who have come here today, because for us to study and understand Bhagavad Gita, this satsangam is very, very important to progress, to make progress in our spiritual life. This satsangam will actually, there is the devotees association, satsangam means. That's what is going to help us to go to Goloka. That's what our goal is, to free ourselves from this material world. So for that, the real help, the real service is to help everyone. So we can progress together to free ourselves from this way. If we think about in this material life, normally when a person wants to make material progress, so we will actually think others as our rivals. So we will feel that the resources are limited, I have to go, so there is always competition. So there is always like we have to struggle hard and compete, and always like we have to like feel jealous or envious, or all this greediness, and everything comes in this material world. When you are attached to material properties, material things, that happens. But that is exactly opposite in spiritual progress, because here everything is unlimited. Krishna's mercy is unlimited. We can share Krishna's mercy with everyone as much as they can take actually. There's no limit. So we can actually, for all of ourselves, there is nothing like that. I'm a great devotee, you are a great devotee, not like that. We are all devotees of Krishna. That's what is very important. And we all want to be happy all the time. And that happiness is not going to come from the matter, that we already know that very well. We already know, in fact, our topic today is how to control the restless mind. But we all know only when our mind is peaceful. So in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is to achieve that peace of mind, how to make our mind peaceful. So that our mind can be peaceful only when we are connected with Krishna. Then only our mind can be peaceful. In fact, when we are materially attached in this world, when we want to achieve love in this world, our mind is always disturbed. When we will be able to feel that Krishna is working. We only think that we are working for Krishna, we are serving Krishna like that. But in reality, we are only thinking. That's it. We have to only think. That's it. But the action will be carried out by Krishna. A perfect today, correct? So we decide to be here this day, and all of us had very strong desire to do. Immediately Krishna knows, he knows everything, and Krishna organized everything. It's going very well. So that's why we are here right now. And now our goal is, we want to identify all the devotees and give this gift to them. That is our goal. Because previously Acharyas and other devotees, they were having these goals, and they identified us. They identified me when I was studying in IIT Bombay. So I got this opportunity. So then in IIT Madras, I studied PhD and got the opportunity to. Krishna is giving opportunities to spread this Bhagavad Gita everywhere, wherever there is. Opportunities are so much that, for example, if we live in India and every day there will be one college I can go and preach. Every day in one city we can go. Every Sunday. So already we are doing it on Zoom, but what I'm trying to say, opportunities are unlimited for us. Today's our topic is how to control the rest. Mind is the only tool with which we can connect with Krishna. So we can connect with Krishna only through our mind. And also we are connecting to this material world only through our mind. So that way, Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita, you keep connected with me all the time. All the time, be focused, think about me only. And how to do that, that's what we are going to study today, which the devotees who are already attending on Zoom, the classes regularly, they already know the process very well, how to connect ourselves with Krishna. Of course, we will do practicing also today, and we need to do that practice every day and whenever possible and on a daily basis, because in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says how to control the restless mind. The simple answer is practice controlling the restless mind. That's then only we can control. We need to practice controlling it. And what's the practice? That's what Krishna is teaching us in this Bhagavad Gita. We know that this material nature, the elements of material nature, we know very well from our modern science to a certain extent, not fully. And then with Bhagavad Gita, with the spiritual science, we understand it fully about this material nature. So the Panchaputa, that is Mahabhuta, we know. Earth, water, fire, air, and then space. Of course, all these four things, they have to be in the space. So Bhumi, Apo, Analo, Vayu, then Kam. So that much only we are interacting every day, we are studying, we are focusing, we are going to schools, colleges, studying and doing working and research and building and everything what we are doing is that only this our knowledge of these things which we are receiving it through our senses. This knowledge, we are gaining it using our senses. So there is a knowledge acquiring senses. But above this, Krishna is saying that they are not 5. They are actually 8. This material nature. I am talking about the material nature. So material nature, there are 8. That we understand only from Bhagavad Gita. So what are those 8? So this is 5 are known as Mahabhuta or Panchabhuta, like that. What are those 8? The other 3 are mind, intelligence, and ahankara, false ego. So they say Bhumi, Apo, Analo, Vayo, Kam, Mano, Buddhi, Ahankaram Itiyam Me, Bina Prakriti Astata. So Krishna is saying Astata. So that means our science is, whatever knowledge we are teaching, so many different departments of, so many are there. So people are getting specialized in different branches. So many, it just branches out, and finally you can one small area. That's it, if we talk about it. But everything is only in these 5 elements. That's it. Whatever we can perceive with our senses, knowledge we are gaining in this material world. Anything we cannot find ourselves. That's what we need to know. Not research and find ourselves anything which we cannot perceive with our senses. So then how we can get that knowledge? That knowledge, we have to get it only from Krishna. That knowledge. So that's why Arjuna even told Krishna that you only know about yourself. Swayam evatmanatmanam netatvam purushottam. So Krishna is giving us this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, which we cannot find it in this 5. Even those 5 also, even to get that knowledge, it has to come from Krishna. Mattaga smriti jnanam apohanam cha. At least we have senses. They are working. We are able to see. So I'm able to see. So then we know that it is this object has got this shape or this much size. And all such things we are able to get through our senses. Similarly, so we are able to hear and we are able to get the knowledge. So anything with our senses only we can get only the knowledge about these 5, because our senses are also made up of these 5 elements. All our senses. Sense of seeing, it's made up of lens. We have lens for eyes through which the light can enter. Image can fall on our retina. So then it gets converted to electrical signal. It goes to the brain. There is a sense of seeing. So the sense of tasting, eat food. So the molecules of food. So there are taste buds. So in our tongue. And so the receptors, chemoreceptors are there. So then our brain gets the signal. So we know that something is sweet or something is bitter or salty. So all such things we are able to get a sense perception, the sense of taste. So sense of touching, so on our skin, everywhere, there are sensors. So they are there, receptors basically. Different types of receptors are there. So to find something is hot or cold, so there is a different receptor there. Or to find pain, so there is a different types of receptors, all there in our skin only, everywhere. And that also knows where exactly the problem. If I'm pinching here, so the receptors here will activate and send a signal to my brain saying that this is the area I'm having pain, something like that. So similarly, some material is very soft or very rough, or like that. So there are particular. So all these things are made up of matter, made up of cells in our body. Similarly, the sense of hearing. So the sound, when I speak, the sound vibration, it comes in forms of the pressure in the air. If there is no air, even if I speak, no one can hear because there is air here. So that's why in the space, if I speak, nobody can hear. So for the sound, in order to travel, it needs a medium. But light can travel even in the space. So all these things are science, what we are understanding with our modern science, knowledge, all such things, correct? But beyond that, anything, we cannot expect scientists to come and say that, oh, there is soul or not, or there is mind, intelligence. They will not know it because they cannot find it. So that much knowledge we need to have it. So then where can we find that knowledge? So that's why in our modern science, if we take it, only they are talking about this earth, water, fire, air, and space. That's it. But Krishna is saying that there are totally 8. That is, Bhumi Rapo Analo Vayo Kam Mano Buddhirevacha Ahankaram Iti Yammi. Mano Buddhir and Ahankar. And our topic today is mind. Of course, we will touch on intelligence also, and we'll touch on Ahankara also, because all these 3 things are subtle nature. So they are not gross nature, they are subtle nature. So that means beyond the perception of our senses. So we can talk all the time about mind, but no one can see the mind, or no one can hear the mind. So we can talk about other things, about the intelligence and the soul and all such things. So Krishna is teaching us in this Bhagavad Gita that apart from these 8, there is another superior nature. That is ourself, the soul. So this is not based on someone's simply whether they believe it or not. Science is science. The beliefs we have different, based on faith, we have different religions, different philosophies, different answers, things. But whether we believe it or not, physics is. So we need to understand that science from Bhagavad Gita. So that way we cannot say that, oh, Bhagavad Gita is a part of some religion or something like that. I don't want to take into that. I'm equal like that. Then we are going to miss everything. Then we cannot understand ourselves. We will not know that we are the soul. So that way Bhagavad Gita is a science about our self, about the soul. So that's why Krishna is teaching us in Bhagavad Gita that body, we are the soul. So apareyam itastvanyam prakritim viddhi me param. So these are all apara prakriti. These are all inferior, all these 8. Of course, among those 8, mine are superior among those 8. Because our body has got 2 types of gross body and subtle body. So gross body which we can perceive with our senses. Subtle body is beyond our sense perception. Intelligence and ahankara are the subtle body. And we understand from Bhagavad Gita that this, apart from that, this soul, that is jiva, but this subtle body, actually, because it's beyond the material body, it's beyond the matter, it can also go with the soul to the next body, next gross body. So when we die, what is happening? The soul is leaving the body. So at that time, we are going to get Deginosmin yatha dehe kaumaram yavvanam jara tatha dehe praptir dhiras tatra namukhya. So within the body, Dehinosmin, being inside the body, changing the body. We are changing the body from the childhood to youth, boyhood, old age. Similarly, at the time of death, we are getting another gross body. But what are we are not getting another subtle body. We are not getting a different mind, different intelligence, That is the science we are understanding from Bhagavad Gita, that we are actually like the wind carries the aroma. So that way, Vayu Gandha Nivasya. So like that, we are getting our mind, intelligence, and ahankara to the next body. So Sariram Yadavapnoti Echapi Uttramati Swaraga Girhitvetani Samyati Vayu Gandhan Ivasya. So that's what. So that way, whatever we take care of our mind, intelligence, and ahankara, that's going to be permanent because it's going to come to our next life, next body. But whatever we take care of this material body, nothing is going to come with us. What we are trying to do in this life, in general, people, we want very nice posh place, apartments, and nice place to. We want, of course, to live everything which Krishna is going to give us. There is no time. But the problem is all the time we are focused on properties, focused on money, focused on stock, focused on all these material things, which are focused on all the grass elements. We want to accumulate so much of grass thing, thinking that I'm this body, and what we are doing is that we are completely wasting this human body, basically. This human body should not be wasted like going after the material things. In fact, Krishna is teaching us that Bhoga Aisvarya Prasaktanam Taya Apagrita Chetasam Vyavasayatmika Buddha Samadam Na Vidyate. So if we are attached to Bhoga and Aisvarya, then we are not going to have intelligence. So that means our Sukshma Sharira, intelligence itself, we will be missing it. We will not have intelligence. We need to gain intelligence. We need to have intelligence. Our mind will not be steady. So that way, if we don't have the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, and we are all the time focusing ourselves on this material sense objects all the time, so we are simply wasting this great opportunity of the human body, and we are not taking care of our mind, our intelligence. We are losing the intelligence, but we are gaining ahankara. That is the one thing we need to lose. We don't want to carry to the next body. What is the meaning of ahankara? Ahankara means thinking that I am the doer. Ahankara. Aham means I. Kara means doing, perform. I am the doer. That's what is called ahankara. Ahankara vimudatma karta aham iti manyate. So a foolish person. Krishna is saying that a fool. Basically, in Krishna's viewpoint, if we are thinking that so then who is the doer? I am not the doer. Who is the doer? Prakriti kriyamanan gunaki karmani sarvasa. So the guna of material nature, which are born from Prakriti, so they are Prakriti kriyamanani gunaki karmani sarvasaga ahankara vimudatma karta aham iti manyate. Whereas a person due to ahankara, he thinks that he is the doer. But we are actually not the doer. So that knowledge we need to have. All the time we should be living with that knowledge that I am not the doer. I am not doing anything. So that is good for ourselves. When we think that I am the doer, then we have consequences. We have to face the results. The results are going to bind us only when we claim the results. Because then what we think? We think that I own the results. When we think, so I own it. That's what we are claiming here, correct? I am the owner. Who is the owner? Nobody is the owner of anything here. Krishna is the owner. Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. Krishna is saying, I am the owner of all my Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. So that we need to lose that false that I am the doer. So that we need to lose it. We should not kill body, because it's a part of the subtle body, ahankara. And mind, we should have a mind which should be completely under our. Before we die, that's what we should gain control over our mind, not gain material properties. That is not the real achievement. Is there. Okay, I am sitting here, I am just remembering Krishna. When I chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So mind is not going anywhere. Mind is just focusing only on that sound vibration. So then that is an achievement. Control we are gaining over our mind, that's what is very important. So that practice is very important. So that is possible only with this. So Bhagavad Gita knowledge is going to give us the because when we chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, we cannot do it mechanically. Like it's then people can say, you can say any name, anything mechanically. That's not going to work out. When we say Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, we are actually calling Krishna. Correct? When we say Krishna, Hare Krishna means what? I'm calling Krishna. Hey Krishna, 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 they're calling Krishna. So when you are calling Krishna, our mind should focus on Krishna. So Krishna and his name, they are not different. That way, we should develop, understand, we should develop the knowledge on Krishna and gain the understanding of Krishna. So this another devotion on Krishna, it has to come that for that we need the knowledge. Knowledge is the key. That's what we are gaining right now. This knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, this is what, like for material science, when we go to schools and colleges, everywhere they are studying only about these 5 elements of nature, but we need to study about this Bhagavad Gita. We need to gain this knowledge. We need to make this opportunity to study Bhagavad Gita available everywhere. What we understand from Bhagavad Gita, which I often quote every time, that we cannot make everybody to give up their attachments and come to Krishna. That is not possible. We should not be even attempting that. We should not think that, oh, I am telling this person so many times, you leave everything, come here, come to and study Bhagavad Gita. He is not coming like that. We should not be worrying. We should not be thinking. Like all of us are here, correct? Close to 50 devotees are here. Another 25 devotees are on Zoom right now. So that is our big success, that we are able to identify. And we should be able to identify more devotees. There are thousands of devotees are there in Delhi, in everywhere, every cities. So that should be our goal. So when we are engaged in serving Krishna, we are engaged in identifying devotees of Krishna and give them this knowledge. Because when I say thousands, when millions of people are there in the population, so then there are thousands of devotees are there. So if we give them this knowledge, and if all of them come, actually work together to serve Krishna, to please Krishna. That's what is very important. Because our goal is only to please Krishna. Because Krishna is the Supreme Lord, as a super soul. Krishna is a heart, and our goal is to please. It means to do what he wants us to do. That's what this pleasing. So meeting Krishna's expectation. Here we are trying to always please someone, correct? We want to make others, correct? So, but our goal should be only to please Krishna. This Bhagavad Gita knowledge, which is the king of knowledge, that motivation, that inspiration, everything. That's what Arjuna got it. In the beginning, Arjuna, that Nayotse iti Govinda. Govinda, I shall not fight. So, and he was not able to do anything. He says that chokam uchoshanam indriyanam. This intense heat of this distress is completely dry my senses. That's what Arjuna told. So that means he was feeling completely helpless. He said that I'm no other way to drive away my grief. That is not at all finding any other ways. So that way, the only way what Arjuna found, that he surrendered unto Krishna. Mama panudyat yachoka muchoshanam indriyano. So avapatnam riddham rajam suranam apichari patyam. Even if I become the king of all the three worlds, I cannot drive away this grief. That was Arjuna's situation. And when he asked Krishna, please tell me, Krishna, what is good for me? Yesterday, yasya nishitam bruhi tanmi. So tell me for certain what is good for me. That's a very important question Arjuna asked in the middle of the battlefield. After Krishna took the chariot between both armies, Arjuna asked, you tell me what is good for me. He was listening to Krishna. But this is what I always say, whatever Krishna told Arjuna, it's good for us. So we are gaining that knowledge. We are understanding this Bhagavad Gita. We need to fully study and understand. So our life is going to be extremely blissful, very, very peaceful. Materially speaking, we will get much more than what we need. By forgetting Krishna, by not following Bhagavad Gita, when we want to achieve materially success, it will be a complete failure, actually. Because there is no peace of mind, there is no happiness. We can only say that I want this, I want that, and all such things. We can only feel ourselves proud. But Krishna is saying that I perpetually cast them into the ocean of material miseries. Krishna can only lift the devotees from the ocean of material miseries. So, Tesam aham samdatta mrityu samsara saga. So Krishna can do that. I can quickly deliver them from the ocean of material miseries. Only for those, yetu sarvani karmani maisanyasya matparaga ananyenaiva yogena adhyayanta upasati. So those who are always engaged in my service, sarvani karmani, all the activities they do it for me. So that means if we are going to job, we have to do that for Krishna. Because Arjuna was able to fight for Krishna. Correct? He was able to fight in the battlefield for Krishna. Because all the results are won by Krishna. So that way, when we are going to job, we should think that whatever results coming out of our work, it is won by Krishna, our Krishna. If a person is a student studying, then should think that studying for Krishna. So we have to think that mindset, that's what is very important. That thinking that I am doing this for Krishna. That's what is remembering Krishna all the time. We cannot sit and chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra all the time, 24/7. That is not possible. We should do that when we get old, when we can't move around much. So at that time, we should only do that. But when we are active, when we are able to go everywhere. and spread Krishna's message and work for Krishna and do everything for Krishna. That way, we will all set examples for others. That's what is very important. When we do that, then at home, there is always peace of mind. Because Krishna is in this world. So everyone's goal should be only to please Krishna. Even sometimes at home, if not everyone is willing to serve Krishna, still we should be pushing ourselves serving Krishna. Because that way, Krishna will create opportunities for us to serve him. So the more faith and effort what we are trying to put in this service to Krishna, right now, what we are doing right now is unimaginable, correct? Myself sitting in the other part, so, and only on Zoom we are. So, but now we are so many devotees are connected, and this is just the beginning. And imagine when we are thousands of devotees. We are not like any other movements or something like anything like buildings, construction, or temples, finance, nothing like that. Krishna is arranging such a nice place. He already built this temple, correct? Is there Krishna's Ayyappa? So, and there is there. So, where all over all the places, Krishna will arrange. So now I'm sure that it will grow into hundreds and thousands, and we all will be this Krishna with this Bhagavad Gita only, and our goal is only one. Our Gita class also we do every day. And at some point in time we can do the more rounds, maybe at least 1 hour. The more and more when we start serving Krishna, normally we say that I'm not finding time. That is a problem, correct? The problem with everyone time. But when we start serving Krishna, and when Krishna is serving us, see time. See, for the last 2 weeks, like I came here a week ago, every day many students, and also in weekends many places like this. So is going on, Krishna is arranging everything, Krishna is doing everything. So time is not an excuse at all. Those who don't have time, Krishna, so doing everything. So time is not a problem at all. So we will be able to do a lot of wonders. So now I explained about these two types of nature. There is apara prakriti and para prakriti. Material nature, that is binna prakriti, and superior nature, that is the jiva, that is the soul. And Krishna is saying that etat yonini bhutani sarvani iti upadaraya aham krishnasya jagataka prabhavaka. we know if you go back in this world, in this earth, earth was there, but no living entities were here. Nothing was here in this earth. And it also goes through the cycles. When Brahma's night comes, again everything will be annihilated in this earth. This earth will be there. And when Brahma's, everything will get into Krishna's nature. Then again everything will be created. So this creation, annihilation that happens, so that also happens. So that's why Krishna is saying that Etat yonini bhutani sarvani iti upadare aham Krishna se jagataka prabhavada pralayastada. So now this body, we understood past 1 hour minute studying, know that what this body is made up of. And we also know about the senses. So what our senses are made up of also we know. So in the senses also there are 2 types of senses. There is knowledge acquiring senses and working senses. Jnanendriyas and karmendriyas. So with the Jnanendriyas, we are acquiring the knowledge. So we are able to see, hear, taste, touch, smell, all those things, we are gaining the knowledge. But when we want to work, so then Jnanam Karma, so that is Trivida Karma Chodana. So that is, there are 3 types which creates the activities. Jnanam, Nyayam, Parijnata. Jnanam, Nyayam, Parijnata, Trivida Karma Chodana. So Jnanam is the knowledge. Nyayam is the object of knowledge. And Parijnata is the, so the knowledge, the object of the knowable, the knowledge, the knowable, and the knower. These 3 things, the work, karma chodha. Any work we do, we need to have the knowledge about that work. Otherwise, we cannot do. Correct? If a surgeon is doing a surgery, the doctor have the complete knowledge, correct? Nobody can just like that go and do the surgery procedure, correct? The knowledge. And then the knowledge about what? So there the surgeon should have the knowledge about, that is a Nyayam. Nyayam is the knowledge about what? So then the knower. The knower means one should have that knowledge. If all these 3 things are, then the work can start. And the success of the work, there are 5 factors. They will start also. But to start the work, there are 3 things. Jnanam, Nyayam, Parijnata. So when we have the knowledge, acquiring the knowledge, then we should have our working senses. So there is karmendriyas. So the Jnanendriyas are 5, karmendriyas are 5, so totally 10. And including the mind, it can be 11. So that's why Krishna says in one Indriyani dasa ekam cha. Indriyani dasa ekam. Dasa means 10, eka is 1. So 10 plus 1, 11. So dasa ekam cha. So that is 5 and 5 working senses. And what are the working senses? There is our hands, legs, and then our voice. Basically, our entire, we are able to move, correct? Jaw, everything, our jaw. Then anus and then genital, they are all working senses. They are all there controlled. So now, with the knowledge acquiring senses, we work. So, but when that happens, we are not working already, we understood. Only 3 modes of nature are doing the work. But the results, then we are bound by the results. That is the problem. So, but all these senses, So they are actually without these senses. So without, for example, without our knowledge acquiring senses, even though our body is perfect, our body is living, all the organs in our body, even though they are working very well. But if none of our knowledge acquiring senses are working, then what we call, what is the type of life is? A life where none of our knowledge acquiring senses are working, our eyes, we are not able to, we are blind, not able to see, not able to smell, not able to touch, not able to taste. So then that life is what we call coma, correct? We say that the patient is in coma because only body is working, that's it. So that way, we need both the knowledge acquiring senses and the working senses to work. So that's why senses are superior to body, dull matter. Indriyani, parani, ahu. So when our senses are working, when our working senses are working, knowledge acquiring senses are working, we should be happy because we're able to interact with this well. So indriyani, parani, ahu. So this knowledge acquiring senses are known as in medicine sensory nervous system, somatosensory system in our body. So the sensory nervous system means it only receives the knowledge. So it only knowledge is going one way to the brain. Okay. Then from the brain, when we give the instruction to move and everything, so that is known as motor nervous system. It's all science only, our body. But it is also there in Bhagavad Gita also, the philosophy also. So there is one is going to the brain, another is coming from the brain. So the knowledge occurring senses, everything, the brain, everything is going to the brain. We are getting the knowledge. And then another thing is that we are giving the work, the signals. So then we are working. So that is the motor nervous system. So, but these senses are superior to the body. But if our body is working, senses are working, but if mentally we are sick, mentally we are not well, so then our mind is not working. So then that life, when our mind is not in control, is not working, so that means our life is not good. So that way, mind is above the senses. There Krishna is splitting. Indriya, Krishna is not saying mind as the Indriya. In one place, Krishna is saying that Indriyani dasa ekam. So that means 11 senses including the mind. And also in another sloka, Krishna is saying that Manas Chasmi. Of all the senses, I am the mind. So, but here, Krishna is Indriyani parani ahu, Indriyebhya param manaka. So mind is Manasastu para buddhi. So intelligence is above the mind. Manasastu para buddhi. Yo buddhe paratastu saha. So the soul is above the intelligence. So we need to understand the body, senses, mind, intelligence, soul. So in that, mind is coming in the middle. It's exactly in the middle. Mind is coming in the middle. So below the mind, senses. Above the mind, intelligence. So there is a nice analogy given in the Upanishad. So where this body, Sariram Ratham Evacha. So Sariram Ratham, this body is compared to a chariot. Just a chariot, this body is compared to a chariot. And Buddhimsu Viddhi Sarathi. So the Sarathi, that is the driver of the chariot, is the Buddhi, intelligence. So then this Indriya are the horses, horses. Manaka, this mind The reins, that rope which you are controlling the horses, the chariot. And Atma, Atmanam, Ratinam Vitti. So this Atma is the, Ratinam means a passenger sitting on the chariot. So Atmanam, Ratinam Vitti, Sairam, Ratam Evacha. So then Buddhim tu Vitti Sarati, Managa, Pratham Evacha. So then Indriyani hide. So that way, this mind is between the senses and intelligence. So if we have intelligence, then we can control the senses with the help of mind. If we don't have the intelligence, if there is no driver for the chariot, Buddhintum Saradi, correct? Saradi is not there. Then who will control the mind? Senses will control the mind, correct? The rope will be, the reins will be under the control of the horses. So that way, in order to control our mind, what we need, in order to control the horses, what is the need? Driver is needed. So there is, buddhi is needed, intelligence is needed. So how are we going to gain that intelligence? That's a very important question. So our mind can be controlled if we have intelligence. If we don't have intelligence, we cannot control our mind, we cannot control our senses. Our topic today is how to control the restless mind. That's what our topic today, correct? So you now understand the relationship, correct? Body, senses, intelligence, and then soul. Soul is just sitting on the chariot. So the intelligence, we should have the driver should control the horses. So that means we should have the intelligence and then the senses. So now the next very important question comes. We are going to have the intelligence. If we have the intelligence, then only we can mind. How we are going to gain the intelligence? So Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita, intelligence means not like you are solving some mathematics, some problems, very fast, quick, I have intelligence, IQ level. That is not intelligence. Intelligence means that is karmajam buddhi yuktahi. That's what intelligence. So buddhi yukta means acting with intelligence. So acting with intelligence means you are giving up the attachment to the results. So if you give up the results, then you have intelligence. Otherwise, you don't have intelligence. So if that intelligence is there, then we can control the mind and senses. How are we going to gain that intelligence? That intelligence we can gain. He is saying that Dadami Buddhi, that intelligence has to come from Krishna. Attached to this material world, material sense objects, are we going to have intelligence? We will lose intelligence. It's what in the beginning I said, O Prasaktanam, Taya Apagrita Chetasa, Vyavasayatmika Buddhi Samadha Na Vidyade. So when we are attached to Bhoga and Aishwarya, when our thoughts are carried away by them, Taya Apagrita Chetasam, when our mind is carried away by them, we have intelligence. So, but Krishna is saying that Tesam Sadayutanam Vajatam Priti Purvakam Tam Yenamam Upayante. So those who are engaged in my devotion service and devotion, that's what Vajatam Priti Purvakam. Then I give the come to me. So for us to gain the intelligence, we have to be always engaged in Krishna's devotional service. That's what this Bhagavad Gita comes into picture. We need to gain this knowledge, and we need to develop that love on Krishna. And when we are engaged in Krishna's service, for example, in order for this program to happen, I know Mohan and Prabhu did put a lot of efforts. And Srinivasan Prabhu, I know he couldn't come today. He told me he may not be able to come. So, but both of them, like, they got place. And of course, our Ayyappa Mandir temple president and everyone, so they were also supporting very much, helping to organize all those things. So this is what is called Satade Yuktana. Tesam Satade Yuktana. And of course, you are also, all of you are coming, dedicating this day, this time for this. This is very important, correct? So, why we are all here? Because we all have full faith on Krishna. That's very important reason. We all fully believe in Krishna. So that's why we are here. So that way, when we gain this full knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, that's why every day we are studying Bhagavad Gita, we are doing fully focusing on this. When we gain this Bhagavad Gita knowledge, so then what is going to happen is that we are slowly and steadily, we will develop complete faith on Krishna, and our love on Krishna. We'll get complete knowledge about Krishna. We know that Krishna is the Supreme Lord. We'll get complete knowledge about Krishna. We know how Krishna is the Supreme Lord. That also we will gain. Maybe in future, another opportunity comes, I can explain completely about Brahma Samhita, where we will get the full knowledge about Krishna. So, that way, Krishna is the Supreme Lord. He says in Bhagavad Gita, Aham sarvasya prabhavo mattaga sarvam pravartate, mattaga parataram na anyate kinchit asti dhananjaya. So that way, Krishna is the Supreme Lord. We need to gain that knowledge. So, yomam evam asammudo jnanati purushottama. Krishna is the Purushottama. So, that way, when we have that full scientific understanding that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, without any confusion, without any doubt, then we are going to serve Him because we love Him. We will serve Krishna because we love Krishna. And when we love Krishna, when we serve Krishna, that means without any condition, correct? We need not say that, Krishna, you give me this and I will serve you. I want this, you give me this, then I will serve you. I will give you that. That is not correct. There is no way we can put demands to Krishna. There is no way we can ask Krishna that I want this. You give, do this for you. Not like that at all. Because when you love someone, when you want to serve someone, you are not expecting anything in return. Because we want to serve Krishna out of love, we are not expecting anything from Krishna other than more service to Krishna. Of course, Krishna also loves us, correct? He is also loved. So then he will also do the same thing. He will also, Krishna also learn from us. That's why he is arranging all these things. We are studying Bhagavad Gita. We are in this Kali Yuga. We are able to get the full knowledge and everything. Serve Krishna, identify ideas, and we are able to make a lot of progress in this effort. And I mentioned earlier that it's just the beginning, because this is all Krishna's mercy. Serving us. He is not expecting anything in return, because Krishna wants only one thing in return, that he wants us to go to him, go to Golok. He says that Krishna wants in return that you forget this place, forget about this material world. That's what Krishna wants us to do. Krishna is saying that we are struggling and suffering in this material world. What we are accomplishing in this material world. At the end, when the death comes, when we go to the death, all our achievements will go to zero. That's it, correct? Today, what we think that I want this, I want that, it is in my name, registered in my name. Definitely after my death, are they going to still keep it? Maybe if somebody is a leader or something, they will build some memorial or something that nobody knows about that person, right? That's how it happens. How many of us know or something of years ago? So we need to love. That's what is permanent. So with that love on Krishna, that we will gain from this Bhagavad Gita, this knowledge is the key. In order to control our mind, we should have Bhagavad Gita knowledge. Everyone who wants control over their mind, gain control over their mind. Because mind is the best friend. But if you want to make, this possible only this. We need to have the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. And with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, we need to develop that understanding and develop faith on Krishna, that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. So without any doubt, without any condition, with full love, service unto Krishna, then we will develop intelligence. We will intelligence. With that intelligence, we can gain determination. The determination comes from the intelligence. Otherwise, mind, when it is attached to different things, it's very shaky. It's very disturbed. It goes here and there, attached, and we always come under the control of the modes of nature. When we have attachment, then immediately mode of Rajoguna, Tamoguna. If we don't have knowledge, Tamoguna controls. If we have attachment, then Rajoguna controls. So then we will always be forced to act, forced to commit sins in this material world. But once we get this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, understand everything in Bhagavad Gita, which of course is very easy to understand. It's not very complicated math and all. It's very simple, very understanding that Krishna is the Supreme Lord is very easy. And when we want to study Bhagavad Gita, Krishna will make us understand it easily also. So that way, this knowledge and then love on Krishna and then intelligence and then determination. So that's why Shanai Uparame Buddhya Dhriti Grihitaya Atma Samsam Mana Kritva Nakinchit Api Chintaye. So actually, step by step, so when we actually gain determination with the help of intelligence, so then we will be able to bring the mind under the control of the self. Atma, so the Atma Kritva. So Atma or Mana will be under the control of our self. That is the way to control our mind. Otherwise, if we are ayukta, means if we are not engaged in Krishna's service, if we don't have this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, if we are not able to develop that love on Krishna, and if we are materially too much attached to the material sense objects, material results, and everything, and that means that is known as ayukta. Yukta means when we are able to regulate everything. Because when you are attached to Krishna, when we are doing everything for Krishna, so that means we have no worries. So that means our workload is much less. We will be able to eat well and sleep well and regulate our activities, and all things will happen. So that is what is known as called yukta. Yatha viniyatam yuktam atman yeva avatistatam nispragaga sarva kamevo yukta ityuchyate tatha. So when we live desireless state, nispragaga sarva kamevo, free from all material desires. So that is what is known as yukta. And that can happen only when we develop full love on Krishna. So that way, nasti buddhi ayuktasya. When we are not connected with Krishna, when we don't have this knowledge, when we don't render devotional service unto Krishna, when we don't, so that means ayuktasya, we are going to lose our intelligence. We will not have intelligence. Find about the chariot, that mana, buddhi, senses, intelligence, we cannot control the mind. So that's why nasti buddhi ayuktasya. So Krishna, when we don't have the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, when we don't render devotion, so that means we will not have intelligence. If we don't have intelligence, we will also not have Because we already know that with the intelligence only we can control our mind. So with the mind only we can control our senses. So that way, nasti buddhi ayuktasya bhavana. So ayuktasya na bhavana means no steady, it's not going to be steady. So then if our mind is not steady, so then there is peace of mind. Abhavayataga shanti. So peace of mind, our mind has to be steady. Only we need to have intelligence. So that means we should be connected with Krishna. So when there is no peace of mind, where from happiness comes? Kuta sukham. So ashantasya, when there is no peace of mind, where from happiness comes? Happiness comes only when our mind is peaceful, and peace of mind comes only if a steady mind comes, only if we have intelligence, and intelligence comes only we are connected with Krishna, only when we have the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. So that's why we are studying this Bhagavad Gita. Scientific. Everything is science. Until now, whatever we studied, everything is a complete science. So, but Krishna is teaching in Bhagavad Gita how to control our mind. A scientific process Krishna is teaching. Krishna is already saying in Bhagavad Gita, it is our best friend. If we don't control our mind, it is our worst enemy. Andur atmat atmanas tasya. Enatmaiva jitaka. So when we control our mind, it is our friend and it will as long as we control our mind. Anatmanastu, if we don't control our mind, satrutve, it will become our enemy. So it will continue to be our enemy if we don't control our mind. So that way, controlling our mind based on this knowledge of Bhagavad very important. And Krishna, of course, Krishna's mercy is there. Only we need to think about Krishna, serve Krishna, like what we are doing, and offer prasadam to Krishna. Earlier, I was talking about 4 pillars. I think I stopped in between. So in those 4 pillars of our bhakti, that one is studying this Bhagavad Gita every day, like we are already doing it. And second is chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra 16 rounds every day. And then the third is offering prasadam to Krishna. Everything should be first offered to Krishna with love and devotion. So Krishna is already saying in Bhagavad Gita, already Krishna is telling that if you offer me with love and devotion, I shall accept it. That's it. Patram pushpam param toyam yume bhaktya prayachati tadakam bhakti upagritam asnami prayatatmanaka. So we just have to offer with love and devotion. So there are very nice, delicious prasadam we can make and offer it to Krishna with love and devotion every day. So anything we eat, it has to be offered to Krishna first. Whatever we eat, yad dasnasi. So whatever we do, yad karosi, yad dasnasi, yad jugosi, tadasyat, whatever we accept or give away, everything we should tapasyasi, counte, whatever austerities we perform, that kurusva mad arpana. You do that as an offering unto me. That's what is very important. So that means we are dedicating our life to Krishna. Our days are numbered, correct? So we are going to leave this world. We are going to leave everything. That is true for everyone. But Krishna is not going to leave us. We are not going to leave Krishna. That's also true. So we need to always live in Krishna consciousness. So that way, Krishna, we will be able to remember Krishna at the time of death. So when we remember Krishna at the time of death, at that time we will be able to completely forget about everything in this material world. So that's what remembering Krishna at the time of death. So by Krishna's causeless mercy, this practice, this chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, this serving Krishna and offering prasadam to Krishna. So the third pillar is offering prasadam to Krishna. What is the fourth pillar? The fourth pillar is spreading Bhagavad Gita, Krishna's message. So that is what is the fourth pillar. We need to spread this Bhagavad Gita because there are still there are thousands and thousands of devotees are there. They have not got this opportunity to study this Bhagavad Gita. So if we all do this, for example, if we spread this Bhagavad Gita, I'm very much confident that next time, already I'm seeing that we don't have enough chairs, now we have to put additional chairs, correct? The devotees are more devotees are joining. So when it grows into thousands of devotees, identifying everywhere, all the devotees, they come together. Imagine that situation, how that is going to happen. If all of us, if all of you are able to serve Krishna by more and more and bringing more devotees to our Bhagavad Gita class, the Zoom class, so then a period of time, we will be not only in one place, in Delhi, all over India, everywhere, we can make this in a very revolutionary way. This bhakti can actually spread, this devotion unto Krishna, because that means we are going to bring peace of mind in everyone's life, because peace of mind is the source of happiness, and that peace of mind comes only when we are able to remember Krishna all the time, when we are able to connect ourselves with Krishna all the time. So that's why Krishna is saying that Jitatmanaga Prashantasya Paramatma Samakita. So when we control our mind, so that means at that time we are going to be connected with Paramatma. Paramatma Samakita. So in fact, we can control our mind only by remembering Krishna. So Jitatmanaga Prashantasya Paramatma Samakitaga Sitoshna Sukha Dukkeshu Tata Mana Apaman. So at that point of time, we will be freed from all the dualities in this material world. So that's what is very important. Nothing should affect us. Nothing should bind us. So this material world, everything is dual in nature. Always there is positive, negative. Happiness, distress, victory, defeat, profit, loss. So like everything is duality, that is known as Dvandva. So that Dvandva means the dualities. And Krishna is saying that how we can free from the dualities, that is, tesam, so yesam tu antagatam papam jananam punya karmanam te dvandva moha nirmukta bhajante mam drita vrataha. So when we render devotional service unto Krishna with full faith, complete determination, drita vrataha, bhajante mam drita vrataha, at that time only Dvandva Moha Nirmuktaha, we will be freed from the dualities in this material world. So only when we render devotional service unto Krishna with full faith. So that opportunity Krishna is giving us. So we are understanding all about Krishna. We are understanding everything Krishna is teaching us in this Bhagavad Gita. So we are able to now make our life very simple and very easy, because when we are connected with Krishna all the time, and Krishna is giving us all the knowledge what we need, so all the opportunities for us to spread his message. So this dharma, this Bhagavad Gita is the dharma. It should be this dharma, this Bhagavad Gita, it should be taught to everyone. These opportunities should be given to everyone. We need to create that atmosphere. Unfortunately, in this material world, without this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, following westernized culture, and we are actually living a materialistic life in a very like a material way, like a matter. We are not able to like see everyone else as our own self. That's what Krishna is teaching in Bhagavad Gita, that Atmopamyena sarvatra samam pasyati yo Arjuna Sukham va yadiva dukkam sayogi paramomata. So people in this world in general, they need not suffer. Like, of course, there are so much of sufferings. A lot of people are undergoing a lot of sufferings. It's all because we are not going in the right direction. Because the very basic needs are not available to everyone. When Krishna provided everything equally to everyone, but here, because of our selfish interests in general, so we are we are letting others to suffer and struggle, not even able to get to meet their very basic needs, right? So, but Krishna is saying that we should take participation equally in everyone's happiness and distress. So it should not be money-minded. So people who have money, if they are very selfish, so they control everyone else. That's not the right thing. Krishna as well. Everyone belongs to Krishna. So we should actually live a life and lead a life and show the way for everyone to lead a peaceful life. That's what is very important. So that way, this Bhagavad Gita knowledge gives us that kind of opportunity, like that yajna, dana, tapak, karma. Yesterday I was explaining that also. All our activities, we have to act. But all the activities should be only yajna, dana, tapak, karma. No other activities we should give up. So yajna, dana, tapak, karma means activities which are offerings to Krishna and charity and austerity. So those kind of activities only we should do it. Because yajna, dana, tapak, karma, natyajam karyam evatat, yajno danam tapaschaiva, pavanani manishinaga. So those kind of activities will purify ourselves. So that way, there is nothing there in this material world for us to gain other than Krishna consciousness. So we have to gain more and more Krishna consciousness and serve Krishna and dedicate our life to Krishna. And that is the way we can enjoy our life. By saying this, we are not going to lose what we have now. We are not going to lose even a little bit of it. So people in general, they think, and sometimes they say, even when I was like 30 years ago, when I was studying Bhagavad Gita, I remember like at that time, relatives, people, they say, oh, at this age itself, we are studying Bhagavad Gita. What is this? This should be studied only people who are retired or something. Unfortunately, these days, nobody is even willing to retire also. Even as long as you are able to work, they still go to work only. That's a very unfortunate situation, correct? We have to actually spend the entire life only for service to Krishna. So they used to say like that, this is for the people who are very old. But it's not the case. Krishna is teaching us in this Bhagavad Gita how to act. So what is the point in trying to learn Bhagavad Gita when we are not able to act? We have to act. Bhagavad Gita is the way of life. So that way, we are not going to lose anything. Materially speaking, for me as an individual, so whatever, materially I have reached very high level. There is no doubt about it. Myself got degrees from IIT, not 1 degree, 2 degrees from IIT, IIT Bombay, IIT Madras, and working also for 25 years in the industry in US. So, but Krishna is taking care of everything. So Krishna, so that way we are not attached to the results, not attached to anything. So attached to only Krishna. But what it all is helping right now, this knowledge gained in IIT or even in work, everything is helping now to reach more devotees. That's the main thing. Now, I'm able to go to any college, either it's engineering or medicine or science or any college, the students, and talk in their terms, in their understanding, give this Bhagavad Gita knowledge. That's what is very important. This Bhagavad Gita knowledge is a science. Everyone should accept. We need to take it to that level that everyone should accept that this Bhagavad Gita is the science. So we need to understand that constitutionally it is a science. That is very important. We should not be simply saying that, oh, this is a part of something religious thing and we should not be studying that. That means we are losing everything. This Bhagavad Gita is the science about ourselves. Like we already studied, correct? Only earth, water, fire, air, and space. Only that much only we study. But mind, intelligence, and ahankara, and about the soul, there is no way we can, no college, nobody can research and find out. It has to be understood only from Shastra. Because in Shastra only, in Bhagavad Gita only, iti gukhyatamam shastram idam uktam mayanagam etad buddha buddhiman shat krita krityasya cha bharat. So in Shastra only. So what we are supposed to do, what we should do, what we should not do, what is the right thing to do, what is the wrong thing to do, everything is given only in Shastra. So if we follow Shastra, tasmat shastram pramanam te, karya akarya vyavastha. Nyastva sastra vidhanoktam karma kartum ihargas. So we have to follow this sastra, this Bhagavad Gita. That should be the way of life for everyone. So all our laws and everything should be based on what the sastra says. That's what is very important. Because Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is saying that a sastra, the sastra vidhi. So if anyone who gives up this sastra vidhi, a sastra vidhi mutsrijya vattate kama karatagam. So they act according to their own interests. So they are not going to achieve perfection. Nasa siddhim avapnoti nasukam na paramgatim. So they are not going to be happy. They are not going to achieve supreme destination. Only those who give up. Ete vimuktaka kaunteya tamudwari tribi naraga acharati atmanasreyas tatoyati paramgatim. Only who perform activities which are good for the atma, good for the self, they will only reach the supreme destination. So that way, this Bharatavarsha, so this is the place where Krishna gave this knowledge. So this dharma, so that's why this dharma has to be maintained. This dharma has to be established. And Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita that yada yada agi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyuttana madharmasya tadatmanam sujamyam. So wherever there is a decline in Bhagavad Gita, this knowledge, I come and give this knowledge. So, but now Krishna has already came. Krishna came 5,000 years ago and gave this Bhagavad Gita. And now that same Bhagavad Gita knowledge is there with us. And now, so we have to make sure that same dharma goes to everyone. It should be taught to everyone. That opportunity should be given to everyone. All the new generation, new children which are to be born, everyone should get the next future generation should be completely. We need to make a completely Krishna conscious atmosphere. It's very important. So that big, very huge responsibility, service opportunity is there in front of us. Right now, it is there in front of us. If we make use of that, so that means we ourselves going to Goloka is already guaranteed. So by doing this, so that way, this dharma is the way of life. This Bhagavad Gita is the way of life. And it is, there is a reason that it is Sanatana Dharma. It is the eternal Dharma, this Bhagavad Gita. So it is always there. And we need to be an instruments in the hands of Krishna in spreading this message. So that way, our topic today, how to control the restless mind, is going to be very, very easy. It's not going to be difficult at all. And of course, Krishna is teaching in Bhagavad Gita, scientific procedure, process to control the mind. So we have to just follow that very strictly. Whatever Krishna says, we just have to follow that. And it's easy to follow. There is no anyone any permission for this. No one can control us in that regard. No one can enforce. No one can restrict us. When we want to gain the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, we are actually living in a world right now. We are able to have all these things, programs, organized and study and all such things. We are in the right time we are living actually. Technologically, we have all the tools, correct? So right now, the devotees are everywhere also following it through Zoom. And then later on, the YouTube recordings are available. Even for us also, if you want to go back and again to refer to that, we have the YouTube recordings are there. And that way, we are at the right time we are living. And if we focus fully on this, then we can bring such a huge revolutionary spiritual change in the world, society. So that's what is needed. So that way, Krishna is teaching in Bhagavad Gita how to control the mind. So that scientific procedure Krishna is explaining. That is, first Krishna is saying that Yunjanyevam Sadatmanam. So Yunjanyevam Sadatmanam. So Krishna is saying that Rahasisthitakam. So Yogi Yunjita Sadatam. Yogi Yunjita Sadatam Atmanam Rahasisthitakam. So we have to, a yogi should be always engaged. Yogi Yunjita Sadatam. So Yunjita means engaged. Sadatam means always. Yogi. A yogi Yunjita Sadatam Atmanam Rahasisthitakam. You should be engaged in this chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, in this mind control, this practice to control the mind. So in a secluded place, Rahasisthitakam. Yogi Yunjita Sadatam Atmanam Rahasisthitakam. Ekaki Yata Chittat Nirasit Aparikrika. So with a single focused mind, So without any other desires, we should practice to control our mind. So what is the practice? Suchau dese pratistapya sthiramasanamaatmanaga natuchitam nati nicham chailajina kusottaram tatraikagramana kritva yatha chittendriya kriyaga upavisyasane yunjat yokamatma visuddhaye. So we should select, of course, in our home, a place which is secluded, so which is not disturbed much. So, and then we need to make our seating in such a way that it's neither too high nor too low. So we should sit comfortably, and we should be able to sit straight. So then, samam kaya siro grivam dharayan achalam stiraga samprekshya nasikagram swam disaschanavalokayan prashantatma vigatavir brahmachari vrate stitaga manasamyamya machitto yukta asita matparaga. So we should sit straight, so that our body, that is samam kaya siro, our head, and grivam, our neck. So samam kaya siro grivam dharayan achalam sthiragam. So we need to sit straight, and then sampreksya nasikagram swam disaschan avalokyan. So look down. So when you sit straight and look down, so that's why our eyes are not looking this way or that way. So simply looking down only. So sampreksha nasikagram swam means looks towards the nose, not to the nose. If we try to look at the nose, tip of the nose, then we are trying to concentrate. Our pupils will be constraining, and will constricted, and will be it will hurt us, our eyes. So we should just simply look down. That means don't look at any other directions. This is cha anavalokaya. So at that time, prashantatma vigattavi. So being very peaceful, freed from all fear, no fear. Prasantatma vigattavi, brahmachari vrate stitagam. So by following celibacy, and manasamyamya machitto yukta asita matparaga. So think about me. So machitta, focus your thoughts on me. So control your mind. Manasamyamya machitto yukta asita matparaga. So keeping me as the ultimate destination. Matparaga. So that is the way to control our mind. So when we chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, so that is the way. So for that, we have to regulate all our activities every day. So we have to regulate. When Krishna says that, na atyasnatastu yogosti, na chaikanta manasnataga, na chati swapna silasya, jagrato naivacharjuna. One should not eat too much, one should not eat too little. One should not sleep too much, one should not sleep too little. So if we do that, we cannot do this, correct? If we eat too much and come and sit and Hare Krishna means we can't even sit. Immediately we'll get sleep also. If we don't eat enough also, we will not have energy to sit and chant Hare Krishna. It's very important. Similarly, sleeping is very important. If we don't sleep enough, then how are we going to focus our mind on the transcendental sound vibration? Because one should sleep enough, at least 7 hours. That's very important. Scientifically, medicinally also, 7 hours, at least 7 hours of sleep is very important. And also sleeping too much also will take us to the tamoguna. So tamoguna leads to sleep, nidra. So that is not good. So also laziness. So a person becomes more lazy because by sleeping itself we'll get tired of sleeping. That also will happen. So we cannot be very active. So that way Krishna is saying that na ati asnatastu yogosti na chaikanta manasnataga na cha adi swapna silase jagrato naiva char. So that way we should be able to regulate all our activities. Yuktahara, viharasya, yukta chesasya, karmasu, yukta swapnavabodhasya, yogo bhavati, dukkaga. All these things if we do, then only we can control our mind. And when we do this practice every day, when we chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, so in the beginning we know for sure that our mind goes here and there. But for a period of time when we practice this, our mind is going to be in one place only. It is not going to go anywhere. That is going to be possible only by practice. So Krishna is saying that when our mind is fully controlled, it should be like a lamp in a windless place. So it should be like a lamp in a windless place, does not waver. So like that, our mind should not waver. So that's why yatha deepo nivatasto nengate sopama smrito yogino yatha chittasya yunjato yogam atmanak. So that is a way to control our. So that means when we do that chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, when we sit straight, don't look at any other directions. When we chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, what we need to focus is that we need to focus on our mind, where it is going. That's what is very important. We need to, at that time, we need to monitor. We need to monitor our mind because we want to focus on the sound vibration. When we say Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, the mind should go to that sound. It should focus on that sound. It's called transcendental sound vibration. And that mind goes somewhere for sure. In the beginning, when we are trying this, definitely mind is not going to focus on that. So Krishna is saying that Yato yato nischalati manaschanchalam astiram tatastato niyamyaitat atmanyeva vasam nayet. From wherever the mind wanders due to its flickering and unsteady nature, yato yato nischalati manaschanchalam astiram tatastato niyamyaitat atmanyeva vasam nayet. Bring it back under the control of the self, under the control of the Atma. So that is what is the process. Scientific process, what we are doing is when we chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, our mind should be wherever it goes, we should bring it back under the control of our self, under the control of our Atma. Atmanyeva Vasam. So that practice, when we do that, Sanishchayena Yuktavyo Yogo Anirvinna Chetasa Sankalpa Prabhavan Kaman Tyaktva Sarvana Sataga Manasamyamya Machito. So Manasavendriya Gramam. So we Manasa Indriya Gramam. Everything should be Manasavendriya Gramam. So that everything should be completely controlled. So Manasa Indriya totally. So by focusing our mind on Krishna. So that's why Yatro paramate chittam niruddam yoga sevaya yatra chaivatmanatmanam pashyan atmani tushyati sukham atyantikam yattad buddhigrahyam ati indriyam veti yatra na chaivayam sitaga chalati tatpataga yam labdva cha param labam manyate na adhikam tataga yasmin sthito na dukke na gurunapi vichalyate tam vidya dukkha samyoga vyogam yoga samjitam. That's what Krishna is saying, that if we do it, so our mind will be completely controlled. So manasai vendriya grama viniyamya samantataga. That's what we need to completely control our mind. So that is possible. So then when we attain that position, yam labdvacha param labha manyate na adhikam tata. When we achieve that position, there is nothing else superior than that. No other gain superior than that. So that is eventually we are going to get by Krishna's causeless mercy. This is a slow and steady process. That's why Shanair Uparami. I mentioned earlier also. Shanair Uparami means gradually, step by step. So on day one, it is not possible. Maybe in a month or two, it may not be possible. But in a year or two, you will be able to see the difference. It will make some difference. You will be able to feel the difference. And if you do that many years, decades, so definitely you will see a big, huge difference. But at the end, before we completely achieve success, if we die, then there is no need to worry, because Krishna is saying that we are going to again start from our next life. If you remember in the beginning when I was explaining about this Stula Sharira, Sukshma Sharira, this Sukshma Sharira, whatever gain we control, it's going to be with us. Whatever control over our mind, whatever we gain in this life, it's going to continue with our next life. We are not going to start from beginning in the next life. In the next life, if we achieved some success, like that's why if you put it as percentage, this life you made, and say you 80% you are success in controlling the mind. So next life you will get the same mind. The same mind is going to be with us. So the next progress is going to from that only, and we are not going to come down at all. So here, whatever we gain, we will stay there. We will never go down. That is not going to be possible because everything is happening because of the knowledge, because of our faith on Krishna. No one can come and say that, oh, Krishna is not the Supreme Lord, why you are believing? Nobody can convert us back. It's not possible. When we are doing everything based on Bhagavad Gita, with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, we understand very well that Krishna is the Supreme Lord. So that way our faith is very, very strong. So there is nobody can convert. So that's what is very important. We are Krishna's devotees. We are Atma, and Krishna is Paramatma, and Krishna is the super soul. We are the soul, and we are connected with Krishna. So that way we need to gain that control on our mind. So we need to use this life only for that reason. So that is the success. So how much mind control we achieved in this life. So that's what is very important. If you are able to achieve full 100% control, that's it. We are ready to go to Goloka. Because at the time of death, because we already practiced so much to remember Krishna, so we are ready to go to Goloka. Sometimes devotees ask what happens if a person dies in coma or dies in an accident or something like that, how one can remember Krishna? No. We don't have to worry about that. Krishna loves us so much. He wants us also to come to Goloka. That's very important. So sometimes also devotees ask it whether if we decide that I want to go to Goloka, is that an attachment? So should we have that attachment or not? We have to have that attachment because when we love Krishna, we should not. We should be think that we should not. We should treat that as an attachment. We need to have that attachment. Whether we are going in this life or not to Goloka, leave it to Krishna. So we need not worry about it. We know for sure that we are going to be freed from the modes of nature. We are going in this material veil under the control of we'll be getting liberated from the modes of nature. Everything that we know that. If this is not this life, next life we'll go to Goloka. If not, next life. So because we are going to gain back everything, whatever progress we make in this life, tatra tam buddhi sam yogam labate paurva dehikam yatatecha tato bhuyaga samsiddhav kurunanda. So whatever gain we are getting in this life, so we will get it back in our next life. So labate paurva dehikam. So today in this life, whatever practice we made in our previous life, we got it now and we are continuing from there. So whatever gain we are going to get in this life, spiritual gain, we are going to get it back and we are going to progress from there. So that way, this spiritual growth, spiritual gain, so that is permanent, whereas material growth, so that is completely temporary. But that doesn't mean that we will live like a poor person struggling for our existence. That is not going to happen because Krishna is saying that if you always think of me, Ananya Chintayantoma, Ejanaga Paripasa, Tesam Nityabhi, those who are always engaged in my devotional service, Yoga Kshema Mahamyam, I will give you what you need. So Krishna is taking care of us very well. So our health, our wealth, whatever we need, so everything is supplied by Krishna. Everything is, Krishna is always, he wants to serve us. He wants to please us. Krishna doesn't want this. So that way, we don't have to, sometimes Krishna is testing. Krishna need not test us to find out whether we are his devotees or not. He's there in our heart as the super soul. So, so that way, Krishna is actually, he gives us the knowledge and he will not test us and he will actually give us more and more knowledge and more opportunities. So that way we will fully depend on Krishna, depend on this Bhagavad Gita. So chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra will help us to focus our mind on Krishna and listening to Hare Krishna Kirtan and jumping and dancing, singing Krishna's Kirtan will help us. So there are so many activities which we can do in Krishna's service, which will always keep us very, very like peaceful and blissful. So now we know how to control the mind. So now practicing that process, what Krishna is teaching. So let us chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Let us focus our mind on the transcendental sound vibration. So let us see how many rounds we can do right now. So let us focus and just wherever our mind wanders due to its flickering and unsteady nature, we must withdraw it and bring it back under the control of the self. So when we chant, so simply let us, all of us, maybe try to chant with loud so that everyone can hear. You can hear, and maybe we should go with the same frequency, same. So I suggest, since we are here in the same room, maybe I'll chant one round and you chant one round, then I'll chant. So like that, we can be able to follow the same thing. So that way, first I will chant not one round, one mantra. Then you do one mantra like that. Okay. So that way we can follow the same rhythm, same frequency, and wherever our mind goes, and we will just bring it back. Okay. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Radhanath Swami Nityananda. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nityananda. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Prachari Vishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Satarini. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurumiritamena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrindam. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Krishna. We will have some question answer session now, I think, until we take prasadam. But before that, maybe Vidyasagar Prabhu, can you take a picture of the devotees? Maybe I'll just sit there, one picture you can take. Hare Krishna. Yeah, we will do some questions. I know some devotees may be having questions also. So then again in the afternoon we can have more sessions, questions. So if any devotee has any questions, please you can raise your hand or yes. Okay. So Mohan Prabhu, can you translate his question? Okay. So I want someone to translate that question to me. Is that and who will give the board? Who will give the report to the board? Okay, you are asking that. So who will give the report to the God? He is there in everyone's body as the super soul, correct? So Krishna knows the past, present, and future, everything. Even you don't even have to give the report. He already knows even before that itself. Before the report, before you do the work itself, he knows he has the report with him, because Krishna is saying that Vedaham Samatitani vartamanani charjuna bhavishyani cha bhutani sipru mam tu veda na kaschana. So I know the past, present and future. Vedaham samatitani vartamanani charjuna bhavishyani cha bhutani mam tu veda na kaschana. So that way Krishna knows everything. So since he knows everything, we don't even have to report such things to him. He already knows. And Krishna is saying that he is seated in everyone's heart as a super soul. So he is Isvaraga Sarvabhutanam Kritesh Archunatis. So Krishna is seated in everyone's heart. So that way he knows about us very well. Not only this life, previous life. When Arjuna asks a question to Krishna that Aparam Bhavato Janma, Param Janma Vivasvataga, Katam Etat Vijaniyam Tvam Madhav Proktavanit. When Krishna told Arjuna that I gave this knowledge to sun god Vivaswan, Vivaswan gave it to Manu, Manu gave it to Ikshvaku. So Arjuna is asking that they are all by birth superior to you, senior to you, senior. So how did you give this knowledge to them? So Krishna says that Bahuni me vyatitani janmani tavacha Arjuna tani aham veda sarvani natvam veta parantapa. Both you and me have taken many births in the past. I know all of them, but you don't know. So that way, our work, our progress, everything is there with Krishna. Is continuously monitored by Krishna. He is there. Not only physically when we work, Krishna knows. Even mentally we think also Krishna knows. See, sometimes what I am thinking about others or you are thinking about others, others will not know unless you tell them, correct? With our mind, whatever we think. So, but Krishna, he knows in mind itself we think something, whatever we think, whatever desires comes, whatever we think, Krishna knows. So that way, report is online. All the time it's going to Krishna and it's permanently Krishna has, he knows the entire past history, not only this life. For us, this life only we know. That a lot of things we already forget. But Krishna, we have taken so many lifetimes, so many lives, innumerable numbers. Krishna knows everything. In fact, if we go to Goloka, sometimes devotees ask such kind of questions. There are no answers in Bhagavad Gita. If you really want to know whatever previous lives, what are all those things, we need to go to Goloka and ask Krishna directly. Because Arjuna could ask only so many questions which Krishna answered. If Arjuna asks even more questions, also Krishna will answer. At that time, when Arjuna asked, what was my previous life, Krishna would have answered Arjuna, correct? So for us now, we don't have to worry about the past. That is already gone. But all our sinful actions in the past, that also we don't have to worry about it. The moment you become a devotee of Krishna, you surrender completely to Krishna. That's why Krishna is saying that you abandon everything. Sarva dharman parityaja. You don't talk that this is right, that is right, this dharma, don't talk too much. Just do only one thing. Just surrender unto me. Mam ekam saranam braja. Aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma shucha. So I will deliver you from all sinful reactions. You do not fear. So that way, for your question, so we don't have to worry about that. Krishna knows everything. So Krishna is there in our heart. And another important thing is, Krishna is actually planning for us. We don't even know that. For example, we are all here, assembling here, studied Bhagavad Gita today. This is such a big success for us, correct? So, and it's all Krishna's plan. So Krishna wants the devotees to assemble, study about him, glorify him, all such things. So that way, that's what I told you. The report, even before we work, before we act itself, it's Krishna's. Krishna knows it. For any action to succeed, 5 factors are there. And Krishna is one of them. And Krishna knows we are all his devotees. So the place, where the action is taking place, and the karta, the performer of the actions, like I am teaching, you are listening, all such things. and then the various instruments, like we had a lot of like mic and thing, and even devotees who are connected on the Zoom. So we didn't have a proper Wi-Fi immediately. So at least the hotspot is working, something, and all these things are all working. So various instruments, and we are all putting a lot of endeavors. I have to come for this yesterday itself, and you are also prepared and have to come from different places. And all these things are happening, correct? All this Vividasya Pratyakshesha, then of course Krishna's mercy is there. So that way the report already is there with Krishna. You understand? Yes. Yes. Yes, Martin.
Donation of cows, so that then only people to go there thing after death. So why should that be there? Because everyone says that you have to
as in we are going to die. So why? What is the meaning of that?
Cow donation.
That cow donation of cow and everything.
All those things, all the rituals and other things.
Actually, Prabhu, like for us to go to Goloka is remembering Krishna at the time of death. That is the only way we can go to Goloka. We have to remember Krishna at the time of death. So all these danas are part of, we have to do it for Krishna, remembering Krishna. So yajna, dana, tapa, karma. So that all these things in the 17th chapter, Krishna is teaching in the mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. So any dana which you give it without expecting anything in return to the right person at the right place. Kali, Dese, Patre, all those things. Kala is the time, at the right time. Desha is at the right place. Patra is the right person. So you need to give that. So that dana is in the mode of goodness. So if you give it to the wrong person, wrong place, wrong time, all those things in the mode of passion and ignorance, all such things comes. Okay. So for us, when you, that's why I told you in one sloka, when Krishna says, Sarva Dharman Parityajya, you abandon everything. So all other things, if you have time, if you have money, if you can do, so definitely you have to do. Definitely go. Cows are very, very pious animals, so we have to do. But it's not for everyone to do everything. It all depends upon every individual's capacity to do. But everyone has to depend on Krishna, follow Bhagavad Gita, surrender unto Krishna, service Krishna. So that is very important. So out of all the charitable work dana, so giving this knowledge is very important. If you go and give this knowledge, if you tell others that you attended Bhagavad Gita here, and we are having Bhagavad Gita on Zoom every day, and you spread this word, you give this dana, this charity. So that will take care of everything else. So, Yamanattaga udapane, sarvataga samplutodake. Taman sarvesu vedesu brahmanasya vijana. So whatever you can do with a water from a small well, you can do with a great reservoir of water, water from a lake. You can do much more than that. So like that, whatever you can do with Vedas, the purpose of Vedas is immediately served if you know the purpose of Vedas. That means, what is the purpose of Vedas? Sarvasya chaham kriti sanye vishte mattagas mitriyanam apoganam cha Vedasya sarvair aham eva vedu. Of all the Vedas, I am to be known. So like that, if you become a devotee of Krishna, if you surrender unto Krishna, if you spread this message of Bhagavad Gita, then all the rest is taken care. You don't have to worry. You understand that? You don't have to do it separate. So that's why the studying Bhagavad Gita, spreading Bhagavad Gita, chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, and offering prasadam to Krishna, that's what is very important. If you do that, all other things, whatever you said, if you have a lot of money, if you can do, then you can do it. If you don't have, then you don't have to worry about it. You understand that? Yes. Okay. So where the soul resides in our body, how can we identify the presence of the soul? Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita that Yatakaso Sito Nityam, that is Sarvagatam Saukshmat Akasham Nopalipyat. So Sarvagatam Saukshmat. So Sukshma. Sukshma means this Akasha. Again, it's somewhat subtle in nature, space. Sarvagatam, which is pervading everywhere. Everywhere there is space, correct? Space is there everywhere. Sarvagatam Saukshmat Akasham Nopalipyat. It doesn't mix with anything. The space doesn't mix with anything. For example, this mic occupies a space. If I move it a little bit over here, this space is again there. It doesn't mix with the space, correct? So, like that, Sarvatra Avasthita Dehe. Sarvatra Avasthita Dehe means it is there in the entire body, everywhere in the body. Tathatma Nopali. Atma. The soul is there in this entire body. It doesn't mix with the body. The space doesn't mix with anything, correct? So similarly, the soul doesn't mix with the body. So for your question, the soul resides in our entire body. If we have a human body, this much body. If we get an ant body, only the soul occupies that much body. The soul is basically caged inside the body. That's it. We are inside the body. So we occupy the entire body. So that is what we are there. And how we can feel the presence of the soul? So that is that consciousness, that think of mind. So as long as that consciousness is there, so consciousness is the symptom of the soul. So that way we are able to understand that we are the soul, not the body. So what is there in our entire body? It's completely spiritual. It cannot be cut into pieces by any weapon. It cannot be burned by fire. It cannot be moistened by light, by wind. It's unbreakable, insoluble. It cannot be burned. All such things. So na hanyate hanyamane sarira. When this body is destroyed, the soul is not killed. The soul is not destroyed. Enam veti hantaram yasyainam manyate khatam ubhautav na vijanito nayam hanti na hanyate. So the soul cannot kill anyone. The soul cannot be killed. Anyone who thinks like that, both of them are not in knowledge. So because the soul cannot kill, the soul cannot be killed. So that is, we are completely spiritual. You understand it about the soul? Hare Krishna. Yes, bro. Jealous. Yeah. When you are attached to Krishna, so then you are not attached to material things. So in the beginning I mentioned, you are feeling envious or jealous or all such things. That is because of our attachment to the matter. So what Krishna is saying that Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma, a person who is in the Brahma Bhuta state, very happy person, Prasannatma. So this is a Jiva Bhuta state. When you are living in the materialistic way of thinking, living, all those things, is Jiva Bhuta state. So when we have the Bhagavad Gita knowledge, so when we are able to fully control our mind, that means our mind is focused only on Krishna. So ihaiva taivi jitaga sarkau, ihaiva taigi jitaga sarkau, esam samye sitam managa, nirdosam gi samam brahma, tasmat brahmani te sitaka. So at that point of time, bhagyasparsesu asaktatma, vindadi atmani yat sukam. So Brahma Yoga Yuktatma, Sukham Akshayam Ashnade. So all these things are called Brahma Bhuta platform. So when we achieve that Brahma Bhuta platform, we are very happy. So we are satisfied. Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma, na sochati, na kankshati. Na sochati, na kankshati. That means you are not lamenting for anything and you are not hankering for anything. Na sochati means you are not worried. You are not, so that way there is no need to, you are not having any attachment on anything. and no hankering, na kankshati. You don't have any materialistic desires. So only you have a materialistic desires, then only this jealous, enviousness, all such things comes. Whereas if we are freed from all this attachment, that means we are freed from attachment and aversion. Raga, Tvesha, Vimuktaistu. So we will be able to free from attachment and aversion. That means Vita, Raga, Bhaya, Krodha. Freed from attachment, fear, and anger. So all these things will go away. So for your question of how to get ourselves, get rid of the jealousness or enviousness, all such things, simply get this Bhagavad Gita knowledge, understand this Bhagavad Gita knowledge, and become a devotee of Krishna, and render devotional service to Krishna, and every day join this Bhagavad Gita and spread this message, chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. You will be so busy. So that way you don't have time to get attached to anything, and there is no point, then there is nothing like you will get jealous or something. You understand that? Detachment from good things. It will automatically happen because, see, nothing is in our control. We need to understand here. We think that we are only taking care of the family, we are only doing all those things like that, we think. But when we have the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, you will completely depend on Krishna for everything. So then Krishna takes care of us very well. So that is what will happen with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. So he wants us to lead a peaceful life, blissful life, happy life. So when you are attached to Krishna means you are always remembering Krishna. So when you can be attached to only one person fully, correct? So then that doesn't mean that you leave the family responsibilities, you will leave everything what you are supposed to do for the family, all such things you can do it. But you will not be attached. That's very important, because you can, when you are attached to Krishna, you can, this entire world is our family. Everyone is Atma. So your mind will become very broad, correct? Your knowledge, everything. So that's why when I was explaining to that question to that Prabhu, like Brahmabhuta Prasannatma, Nasochati Nakangsati, Samaga Sarvesu Bhuteshu, Madbhaktim Labate Param. So you will become equal to all living entities. Samaga Sarveshu Bhuteshu. So that kind of broad-mindedness has to come. That's what is very important. That happens with Bhagavad Gita knowledge. So that way, whatever the family needs, that also Krishna takes care. Whatever we want to. So we should not be very much attached. I have my son or my daughter or they have to become all the time focused. See, that is also like ourselves attaching, correct? I want to become this, I want to become that. All such things will go away. And whatever everyone is supposed to get, Krishna will take care of it. We need to fully leave it to Krishna. That's what complete dependence on Krishna. So that happens with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. Automatically it happens. So that way, let Krishna do all the jobs. We think that we are doing it. We are not doing anything. Let Krishna serve us. Let Krishna, like Krishna was like he was riding Arjuna's chariot, correct? He was the driver. He was charioting, correct? So like that, let us give everything to Krishna. And we focus only on serving Krishna. Only chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, like that. So that's what even I'm also doing, correct? Traveling everywhere. So everywhere here, all the places, let Krishna take care of other things, all our other needs. So that way, for your question, it will automatically be taken care. You don't have to worry about it when you are fully serving Krishna. You are understanding that, Mother? Yes, Mother. That's all That's what bhakti. As you said, that you use the word bhakti. So, see, karma, we need to understand that we are forced to act right now. Everyone is controlled by the modes of nature. So we cannot be freed ourselves. We cannot sit idle even for a moment. Nagi kasyate kshanamapi jatu tistati akarmakrit. So akarmakrit. Akarmakrit means not doing an activity. We cannot even sit idle for even a moment. Because everyone is forced to act helplessly by the modes of nature. 3 modes of nature. So karyate ke avasaka karma sarvaga prakriti jayapune. So that way, in the beginning, we have to do karma, but that karma we should do to achieve that yoga. So that status of yoga, we should become a yogi. Once we, that's what aruruksher muner yogam karma karanam uchyate. Yoga rudasya tasaiva samaha karanam uchyate. Once you achieve that karma, then you are not forced to act. So as long as you are forced to act, we have to do our duty. But Krishna is teaching us in this Bhagavad Gita that we have to offer the results to Krishna. So yajnarthat karmano, that karma should be as an offering to Krishna. So you are doing karma, you have a right to do your duty. So Krishna is saying that karmaniyava adhikaraste, you have the right to do your duty. But when Krishna says that ma palesu kadachana, but you don't have the right to the results. That we need to know. We should not think that the results are ours. There only problem comes. So if you offer the results to Krishna, yajnarthat karmano anyatra lokoyam karma bandhana. So any activity which we are doing it not for Krishna is going to bind us to this world. So that karma bandha develops, that janma bandha. So if you have the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, if we surrender all the results to Krishna, if we fully depend on Krishna, so then for us there is no bondage, no karma bandha. So our activity only has got only 2 types of results. This is not the results we are getting it by doing the activity. The actual results. The actual results only are 2 types. Either it can bind us to this world or it can liberate us from this world. These are the only 2 types of results. So if we offer the results to Krishna, it will liberate us, free us from this world. If we claim the results as ours, then it will bind us to this world. So these are the only 2 types of results. You understand that one? Hare Krishna. We should yeah, you should not. That's why you need to understand the right cause. You should give them food instead of giving money. If somebody is asking at that time, you can give them food. You don't have to, if you are thinking like that, they may go and misuse that money, correct? If you directly give them food, so then they will have to take the food, correct? So like that you can do. But when we do it in a very, that's what it is needed. We have to do it in a very organized way, very systematic way. See, our goal is to, this is just the beginning, as I mentioned, correct? We have much more to grow. When we much more to grow, so when we identify all the devotees everywhere, like yesterday I was talking with the devotees in Mohan Prabhu's home, like at Mohan Prabhu's home, like there are 23 million devotee people in this city, Delhi, like 25 million, let us say 25,000 devotees are there. So if we identify all of them, then we can do together that kind of service. Whatever this yajna, dana, tapa, I have a lot of plans, ideas, everything Krishna gives based on Bhagavad Gita, correct? What we are supposed to do. So the best way to give them is the knowledge. See, somebody, you give them food. One time you can give them food. they will suffer again. But if we give them knowledge, if we make them devotees of Krishna, so then they are under the protection of Krishna. Then they are not going to struggle and suffer at all. So that way, we have to identify all the devotees and we need to make this group to grow bigger. That is our goal. And here again, what we are trying to do, everything here, if there is nothing, no money involved, we are not going to spend any money to construct some places or organization, develop some not like that. Our goal is only one: teach Bhagavad Gita, spread Bhagavad Gita, give the Bhagavad Gita knowledge. For example, that person you said who was suffering in the road or something is asking or something like that. If you are able to spend some time with him, okay, and then try to tell him about Krishna. Who knows if he may be a devotee? We don't know, correct? So if that person takes it very serious, oh, it's Krishna is the Supreme Lord, we need to serve him like that. You engage him in Krishna's service. So that way, he is going to go to Goloka. So that is the thing. When you connect with a devotee with Krishna, so then you are on the right track, right process. It's an opportunity for us. So, and that way, if you in an organized way, systematic way, if you do, even beggars won't be there, because beggars are, we are making beggars because we are not distributing them properly. That is the thing. Everybody tries to grab everything and they want to keep the rich. That's what the richer are becoming the richest and the poor becoming the poorest. So the poor need not become a rich person, but their daily needs, they need not be a beggar. If dharma is flourishing, then there won't be any beggars in the streets. That's what is very important. So our goal is that we have to spread this Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is the dharma. Anybody who takes this dharma, so then that will be that's what, 25,000 devotees, if we are identifying, if 25,000 devotees are meeting in one place and planning, that's everybody will know that, correct? So we can plan very well. We can do a lot of wonderful service. So definitely that will happen. I'm talking about in one city, in all over the country, we have what is 1.4 billion devotees, so 140 crores. So in that, we can find 1.5 million devotees, that is 15 lakh devotees. 15 lakhs are not a small number. So we have to identify them. That's what is our goal. Bhagavad Gita, we have to go by Bhagavad Gita. We know that not everyone will listen to that. Not everybody will become sincerely following this. That is, we cannot expect that. It is not going to be possible. But if all these devotees, they come together and serve Krishna together, that is possible. There's so many movements are there, so many preachers, so many different kind of things are there. But our goal is only everyone who follows Bhagavad Gita. That's what is very important. So we have to just stick to Bhagavad Gita, become a devotee of Krishna, follow each and every instruction given by Krishna. Then this yajna, dana, tapa, karma, we can do it in a revolutionary way. You get the answer to a certain extent? Hare Krishna. Yes, madam. Yeah, we cannot, as an individual, raising voice for injustice is not going to help. It's going to be difficult, correct? So that's how, because the society itself is built like that way only. Because everything is more on the way, the culture, everything. It's like olden days is different, but now it's different. So, but there are a lot of things which we can change it in a Krishna conscious way. It is possible. A lot of things. And that's what Krishna is teaching in Bhagavad Gita. That Yomam pasyati sarvatra sarvam cha mahi pasyati tasyagam na pranasyami sachami na pranasyati. Very simple, very easy. Those who sees me in everywhere, everything, those who sees everything in me, not lost. For me, is not lost. So injustice happens, but Krishna is there with us. That is the main. So if we are not attached to anything, then we are not going to be affected by anything. That is the main thing. We are not attached to the results. And important point, which every one of us will be able to experience, that if we are attached to Krishna, then we are under the protection of Krishna. And Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that Kaunteya Pratijani Name Bhaktaga Pranashyati. O son of Kunti, declare it boldly that my devotee never perishes. So Krishna will not tolerate that when such thing happens. You don't have to fight injustice ourselves. Krishna is there. Krishna himself has come here to establish dharma, correct? So, first of all, the individual, the devotees are not affected mentally by anything, whatever is happening, because we are not attached to anything. And Krishna is there to protect us all the time. That is very important, because we are under the care of Krishna. That is the main thing. You give the care of address, correct? We are under the complete care of Krishna. So that way, for us, we don't have to worry about that also. We leave it to Krishna only. Whatever happens, it has to happen only. Without Krishna's permission, nothing can happen. That's very important. Without Krishna's approval, nothing can happen. So that way, we will take everything the way it comes, leave everything to studying Bhagavad Gita, following. We are always going to be successful. There is no doubt about it. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, Yatra Patho Dhanutara, Tatra Srir Vijayo Bhudi Nitir Matir Mama. That is the fact. So that way, we are going to be very successful in this, no doubt about it. And we are not going to be affected by this. But we may be the instrument. Krishna will use us the instruments to bring justice. That is the main. That is this Bhagavad Gita is the Dharma. So this Bhagavad Gita should be there everywhere. It is an eternal Dharma, Sanatana Dharma. So if we establish this Dharma everywhere, if everyone gets the opportunity to study Bhagavad Gita, so then you will see a big change in the society where Dharma flourishes everywhere. So when Krishna is saying that he comes here to establish this Dharma, so now Krishna is still there. It's not that Krishna came 5,000 years ago and he left, and Krishna is there everywhere. Only at that point of time, with our eyes, we were able to see Krishna. 5,000 years ago, Krishna came in such a way that with our material body, with our eyes, we are able to see Krishna, listen to Krishna. But now Krishna is there with us. Krishna is seeing us. We are not able to see Krishna because he says that Naham Prakasaga Sarvasya Yogamaya Samavritaga. So I am not visible to everyone. I am covered by Maya, Yogamaya Samavrita. So Mudoyam Nabijanati Yogoma Majam Abhyam. So the fools, they don't understand me because I am superior, supreme. So that way, Krishna is there with us. We can see Krishna. Krishna is helping us. We need to do this sadhana. This is opportunity. It's a great opportunity we have got. So now, how we can measure our progress? Our progress can be measured that how many devotees are able to join Zoom, correct? Or how many devotees are able to follow our YouTube recordings. That is the only way we are all connected. We are all here today, correct? Otherwise, we were all different places. Even in Delhi also, we were all from different places. And now we are all connected. So our progress can be measured that our Zoom classes should happen continuously every day. And their strength has to grow. And some devotees are not able to come because of the timing we do it. But that's okay. You can follow the YouTube. Or at least attend on Saturdays or Sundays. So that dedication. So that if we do it over a period of time, Krishna gives us like the directions, like Krishna engaged Arjuna to fight the injustice, correct? Your question is exactly the same. So how I can fight for injustice? So Krishna told Arjuna that you have to fight. You have to fight here in the battle. So for a Kshatriya, so there is nothing else is dharma. Swadharmam api chaveksha navikam pitum argasi dharmyadi yuddha shreyo anyade kshatriyasya na vidyati. So for a Kshatriya, there is no other than fighting in the battle, correct? So, like that for us, Krishna will direct us. Krishna will lead us. He will take care. So, what we need to do is that simply make sure that we study the entire Bhagavad Gita and understand that there is no, in that case, there is no compromise for that. That we do it, then all the rest is completely will be taken care by Krishna. You get that? So any other questions devotees have? Or is it a time for prasadam? It's already 1:50. No, it's only 12:45. Okay. Because my time is showing 1:15 is US time. So there it is midnight 1:15. Yes. Yes. Current. Yes. So that will also Krishna will guide us. That is the main thing. See, we are instrumental, but we are instrumental means we are instruments in the hands of Krishna. That is the main thing. We should let Krishna to use the way he wants us to do, wants to use. When Prabhupada, he came to US, he went to visited US at the age of 70. So you can't even imagine a person at the age of 70 going to US without knowing anyone. Of course, he knows Krishna, that's very important. And establishing this international society of Krishna consciousness and writing this Bhagavad Gita as it is, all such things. He was telling Krishna that I'm simply a puppet in your hand. You make me dance as you wish. That's it. So for all of us are in the same way. So we are all instruments in the hands of Krishna. And that's what I was telling in between, that Krishna is planning, like we plan our life, what we want to become, what we want to do, all those things. And when Krishna knows that someone is a devotee of him, then he is also planning for us. So that's what is very important. See, for example, when I studied all these slokas, that was maybe 20 years ago. Of course, for the last 30 years, I'm connected with Bhagavad Gita, studying all those things. But I started memorizing Bhagavad Gita slowly, steadily. At that point of time, I didn't even think, I was not even planning that I'm going to preparing that I'm going to give lectures on Bhagavad Gita. I was not even knowing, not even thinking. But I found myself, it's very, very interesting, it gives us so much happiness. Like Susukam Kartum Avyam. When you understand that you are not the body, you are the soul, when you understand all these signs, everything about the mind, about how to control the mind, about the intelligence, about so many things about that. So I felt it, it's very, very, very joy, like happy, a lot of happiness I was deriving. So that's why I tried to memorize the slokas. Now what happened? What's happening? Krishna is making use of that to give me lectures everywhere. That was not even my plan, or not even my thinking at that point of course. Want to spread Bhagavad Gita, that's very important. So Krishna plans, he provides the opportunity. And one thing also I realized when I was doing PhD, started in the year 1993, I'm going to do it for Krishna. Because at that time I was thinking that with this knowledge, you can also spread Bhagavad Gita, correct? So Arjuna, we want to set an example. So that way, that is helping me now to scientifically take this knowledge everywhere. So it is not like now anybody asks any question on the scientific background, I'm very clear, correct? I can even answer, I can even talk it in their terms. Actually, nobody can confuse me, correct? Sometimes if we are only having the Bhagavad Gita knowledge, others may talk about some weight jugglery, some scientific things, they will talk all those things. Then we will be thinking that, oh, he may be right, all those things. Now, no scientist, now nobody can come and talk that they can, even we can discuss with them, also ask questions, correct? So that way, what I'm trying to say, Krishna will give us the needed knowledge, instrument. He will use us instruments and he will make us to do. So opportunities are unlimited for us to do. And we have to take this and make it. I'm sure this is not the first time or only time we are meeting. And my goal is also to visit India at least twice a year and also stay longer. So it's all happening, correct? So it's all deciding. So then we can meet often and we can grow, we can plan more, and all these things will work out very nicely. Krishna will make us to serve him, no doubt about it. Yes, Mother. Yeah, the only problem is that they are doing serious crimes, you are saying, right? So in this Kali Yuga, their life is actually very, very going to be very pitiable. That's what in the 16th chapter you understand. So people can be actually, there are two types of Purushas, two types of people, not Purushas, two types of Daubhuta Sargo Lokeshmin, Deva Asura Evacha. So two types of created living beings. One is Deva, another is Asura, divine and demoniac person. So the demoniac persons you are talking about, they are committing crimes and all such things. They think that they are gaining a lot and they are living happily and all. But Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that Chintam aparimeyam cha pralayantam upashita. So until the time of death, they are having unlimited worries only. They are not happy at all. So asa pasa sadai baddhaga kama krodha parayanaga igante kama bhogartham anyayena artha sanchaya. So bound by a network of hundreds of desires to please their desires. So they are deriving money by illegal means. That's what is happening, correct? All these Kuladharmas, all these social welfare projects, all these government projects, all those things, if you do it nicely, it will all happen very nicely, no problem. But there are a lot of illegal ways. That's what illegal means. So anyayena artha sanchaya. But what is happening? Krishna is saying that such persons, they are actually aneka chitta vibranta moha jala samavrita prasakma bhogeshu patanti narake asucha. So we think that they are living nicely here. Well, itself is a dukkalaya. So in the dukkalaya, we cannot think that somebody is living happily, because this is dukkalaya masasvana. And such persons will go to hell. Patanti narake asucha. And Krishna is saying that I perpetually cast them into such hell. Asuri myoni maapanna mudaga janmani mama prapeva kaunteya tatuyanti adamam gatim. So by taking life, birth in such demoniac species, life after life, they cannot achieve me. They will reach the most condemned destination. That's what Krishna is saying. So that is the reality. So those who commit such serious crimes and all, there is no hope for them to go to Golok. And they will keep coming back to this material world. So for that reason, we also can't help. It is helpless. Krishna himself cannot help. Because one has to listen. We are all listening to Krishna. We should feel ourselves extremely fortunate that we are here studying Bhagavad Gita, listening to Krishna. Only 1 in 1,000, which we already studied, correct? So that way, those persons, they keep taking birth in this material world, struggling and suffering, birth, old age, disease and death. Everything will keep coming back again and again and again. So janma mrityu jara dukkha mukto amritam ashvade. Only when we are freed from this material world, then only we will go to Krishna's world. That is possible only by rendering devotional service unto Krishna. Mamchayo vyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate. Only without any deviation, if we render devotional service unto Krishna, then only we can be freed from the gunas. Sagunat samati taitan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. We can be freed from the three modes of nature by rendering devotional service unto Krishna. But for other people, those who are demons, so it's we have to only feel very pity for them, but we can't help. That is the situation. You understand that? Yes. 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 Krishna is saying in the 14th chapter, in the 13th chapter, Upadrishta, Anumanta, Varta, Bhokta Maheswaraga. Paramatme iti chayuktaga Degeshmin Purushaga Para. So Upatrishta is the overseer. Upatrishta. Anumanta is a permitter. So Upadrishta Anumanta. Bharta is a maintainer. Bhokta is the enjoyer. Maheswaraga is the supreme controller. Upadrishta Anumanta Bharta Bhokta Maheshwaraga Paramatme iti chayuktaga. So he is called as Paramatma. Paramatme iti chayuktaga. Degesmin Purushaga Para is seated in everyone's body. So that way, that shloka directly says that he is Paramatma, he is a super soul. Paramatme iti chayuktaga. That is in the 13th chapter towards the end. Yes, 13th chapter. Yes, bro. Can you be a little louder, Prabhu? You said that some people are climbing, but argument can be. Pandits, yeah, that I heard it. Yes, yes. Yeah. Mm. Yes.
He cannot complain about this karma, and he's become a great victim of that. Many people are becoming victim of that. They don't even know that it is that. And they are doing crimes, and the person who is becoming a victim, they die due to heart attack also. They die due to brain shock. He may die due to heart attack also. And his mental condition trembles, and he is the believer of Krishna, and he is believer of Krishna, and he is having some he is believer of Krishna, and due to his family condition, he cannot offer prasadam to Krishna. His mental condition has also become down, and he could not understand Bhagavad Gita, and he could not offer the prasadam to Krishna. His family situations like that in balance, and astrological science also tells that his time is not good. He, for 3 years is not good, and astrological science is also correct, because mostly people think that astrology was installed. It is correct happening with me. That is purely astrology. Then what is his role? What is this person? What type of this person role should be there? So there is person told that to surrender to Krishna. Mame is come Sharma. And otherwise he is having disturbance at home, at workplace, and his mind is not stable.
So for your question, Arjuna is a perfect example. Arjuna was in the battlefield, he was saying the same thing only. So even he told Krishna that it will be better for me to go and commit suicide. That's what he said. He went to that kind of situation. Yadimam apratikaram asastram sastra panega dardarashran ranekanyugu tanme kshemataram bhavet. So let me throw away all the arms and let the sons of Dhritarashtra come and kill me with all kinds of weapons. That is good for me. That's what he said. So when he listened to Krishna, this Bhagavad Gita, then only he came to his consciousness. Now for your question, first thing, one thing you said that there may be some Swamijis, they will be wrongly guiding, and a lot of thousands of people go to them. That is true. See, the problem is that Bhagavad Gita, we have to take it. We have to take shelter into this Bhagavad Gita. So Krishna is saying that anyone who takes shelter into this Bhagavad Gita. So then, idamte jnana. So in Bhagavad Gita, if anybody who takes shelter into this Bhagavad Gita, they will be freed from this material world. So that way, this Bhagavad Gita knowledge only can help us. So for if anyone who teaches Bhagavad Gita, we should go and follow. So otherwise, we will be misguided. So that we have to be very, very careful. So if we have to study Bhagavad Gita, we should have faith. So you said about your friend going through struggle, miseries, all those things. So anyone who takes shelter into this Bhagavad Gita, so definitely they will be able to come out of all the miseries, problems. Because Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita very clearly that Machittaga Sarva Durgana Matprasada Tarishasi. If you think about Krishna, then by his mercy, all of the problems are solved. That faith we need to have on Bhagavad Gita. Every one of us can feel it. Every one of us can experience it. That we will not have problems at all if we remember Krishna, if we focus. Because that's what Krishna is saying, that by my mercy, all your problems will be gone. So that way, we have to just follow Bhagavad Gita, remember Krishna, and just listen to Bhagavad Gita, understand Bhagavad Gita, and then by Krishna's mercy, all our problems will be solved. So then, if your friend takes this very sincerely and he follows this, I guarantee that when he with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, every problem will be solved. But in this world, there are so many different movements, different leaders, spiritual leaders. They will follow with their own yoga process, their own, all such things are there. Because only 1 in 1,000 only will come to Bhagavad Gita. So the remaining 999, they can be exploited like any way we want. So it's all simply, someone may be doing the thing in the right way, but not fully complete way. So that is the main thing. We need to completely follow Bhagavad Gita as it is. So that is the only way 100% we can make continuous progress and go to Krishna, Goloka. So for that is our goal. Our goal is to give this Bhagavad Gita as it is. So if you ask your friend to take this Bhagavad Gita and study this Bhagavad Gita, follow it, and then you monitor, I'm sure after like certain time, he will make continuous progress. He will come out of all the problems. There is no doubt. So this is very much guaranteed. Here, nothing is expected in return, but this is the path. That's what our goal, my goal is also. All of us, we want to give this knowledge, share this knowledge to everyone. They take shelter into this Bhagavad Gita. So that's what. If we take shelter into this Bhagavad Gita, so Krishna says that. So then, when this world is created again, we will not be born here. When this world is annihilated, we won't be disturbed. So that's what Krishna is teaching. You understand it? So this is the only thing. So take shelter into Bhagavad Gita, then everything will be happy. And that was his first question. So what is that official hierarchy, Prabhu?
They are pious, want to do something energetic as the good practices, but the higher up might be hoping to do something in some particular body. That kind of
that answer, whatever I gave, that will also get solved. Because when you fully depend on Krishna, depend on Bhagavad Gita, when you have that knowledge, then Krishna will come in between, correct? So he is there in everyone's heart as the super soul. and you yourself, we ourselves will be able to feel the difference that such situations will be handled by Krishna. So you will not get such force. He will find ways. Krishna will find ways to free ourselves from such kind of trouble. That's it. Yes, other person, Krishna takes care. Like in the battlefield, when Arjuna is saying that I cannot kill Drona, I cannot kill Bhishma and all, Krishna says that I am killing everyone. You are not killing. Dronam cha, Bhishmam cha, Jayadradam cha, Karnam tatanyanapi yoda viran, Maya khatams, Tvam jahima vyatista. So they are killed by me. You don't get disturbed. You are saying that Katham Bhishma Aham Sanke Dronam cha Madhusudana, Isubhi Pratiyotchami Pujaram Arisudam. So how can I counterattack with arrows, Bhishma and Drona, who are worthy of my worship? But you are not killing. You just nimitta matram bhavasabhya shachi. You just shoot the arrows. But they are already killed by me. So that way, here, even in this hierarchy, this problem, that problem, everything, even Krishna wants to solve it, then nobody can do anything. That's why O son of Kunti, declare it boldly that my devotee never perishes. So that's why everything starts from this Bhagavad Gita. When you take shelter into this Bhagavad Gita, so then all the problems will be solved. So that's what Krishna is saying. Yes, that is the thing. We have to be all the time remembering that we have to take shelter into this Bhagavad Gita. So then all the problems will be solved, Prabhu. So that's what is very important. Yes. Yeah. We can have prasadam and then we can meet again.
Thank you, Father, for the patient hearing. Now we request you to have our lunch in the basement of the studio, and after that we will be exactly 2:30. Lunch auditorium. The basement of this auditorium, basement. Thank you.
The prasadam is served.
Yes, prasadam is being served. Kindly have there, and we'll include that.
For the devotees in Zoom, yeah, prasadam is getting served. Maybe I will just try to unmute someone. Yes. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Brinda Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Guruji. So nice to look at you and hear you. So many new devotees.
Yes, Mataji.
In the middle, I got disconnected for some 10-15 minutes. I don't know why, but most of it I heard. Yes,
Yeah, in
Guruji.
between it was keep disconnecting, Mataji. I don't, yes.
Yes. But as you said, Krishna makes everything perfect. And Krishna planned your trip and you have achieved his desires and your desires are fulfilled, Guruji.
Yes, Mataji. Yes, Mataji. It's all
Thank
Krishna's
you so much,
blessing.
Guruji, for encouraging us. Thank you so much. I will connect with you regarding a little whatever I feel like, but I'm not able to do it because I was just caught up with some hospital work. So
Okay.
somebody not well in the family. Yes,
Yeah.
Guruji. Thank you so much, Guruji.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Very
Mataji.
nice lecture, and I'm glad all the Delhi people are enjoying and
Yes, we have
eating
very good.
the prasadam. I am missing the prasadam.
Mataji. We will.
Yes, I'm getting your word
Hare Krishna,
prasadam. This is more than enough.
Yes.
It's very
Bhagavad Gita
encouraging.
is
Thank you,
simple.
Guruji.
Thank you.
Yes, it's a prasadam of Krishna. Yes, Guruji.
Hare
Thank you so much. I wish you all the best. And when are you returning for your normal lectures in the morning?
Yeah, maybe from next Monday itself, I think Tuesday, Tuesday itself, I want to do that. Yes, Mataji. I'm not traveling much, but afterwards, in 1 week, I will India, US, and then it
Yes.
should not be any problem. Yes.
Yes,
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
I'll keep connected. Please send us your Zoom messages
Yes,
whenever
ma'am.
again. Yes, good. Thank you so much. Hare
Thank you.
Krishna,
We will
Hare
have
Krishna,
after the
Krishna
prasadam
Krishna,
also.
Hare Hare.
Hare
Up to
Rama.
4 o'clock. Up to 4 o'clock.
Yes, Mataji.
Yes,
After 1 we will have
Yes,
prasadam break, then we will
Guruji.
meet.
I will connect. I will connect after half an hour. Yes, Guruji. Thank you,
Yes,
Guruji.
ma'am. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Sarala Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Guruji.
Hare
Nice,
Krishna, Mataji.
nice to see you and hear your lecture after so many months. And
Yes,
fortunately, I am also in India. So I thought, let me.
Oh, very nice. That's what I was about to
I-
ask, because this time you are able to join. Yes, ma'am.
yes, because I'm here in India, I
Yes,
thought,
yes.
okay, let
So
me see.
you are in Bangalore? Are you in Bangalore, Mataji?
No,
Are
I'm
you in
in
Bangalore or where?
Hyderabad. I'm in Hyderabad.
Hyderabad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay.
Uh,
no problem.
So a very nice lecture, Guruji. Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare
Hare Krishna.
Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Lakshmi Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna
Mohan
Guru.
Prabhu, just 5-10 minutes.
Hare Krishna Guru.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Namaskaram Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
No.
So very nice, Prabhu. You were able to understand everything today, Prabhu.
By the mercy of Krishna, I am fortunate enough to hear your
Yes.
whole lecture, and I was very happy, and I could understand everything very well. Thank you, Guruji. Hare Krishna.
Yes. We'll meet sometime next week. I will tell which day, Prabhu, in Chennai. You are still in Hyderabad, Prabhu? Is it you are in Hyderabad, correct? Hare Krishna, Lakshmi Prabhu.
Namaste, Guruji. Pranam, Guruji. By the
Namaste. Pranam, Prabhu.
today, I am fortunate enough to hear your whole lecture from 10 o'clock itself, and question and answer session also.
Yes, Prabhu.
Listen and understand very nicely. It is very nice. We are under the mercy of Krishna. We have to take shelter in Krishna's consciousness. All our problems will be solved.
Yes, Prabhu.
We service of Krishna for our further life to prosper. Thank you, Guruji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Kandula Tirupati Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Guruji. Thank you very much for today's class at Delhi. It's a wonderful class, I think. Many devotees are there also. I am very happy to see again. But unfortunate that is I am not able to join in the morning session because I am in the traveling at the time. When I am going to school, that is the time for me to reach the school. It is not able to
No
join.
problem. You can follow through YouTube.
Yes, I am following the YouTube classes. Really, it's a wonderful Guruji. And Guruji, in Bombay, you decided to teach any class in Bombay?
Yeah, I couldn't do this time, Prabhu. That's why I couldn't contact your son also. I will maybe contact him later. Next time I will definitely go there, Prabhu.
Okay,
In
Guruji,
September, I
okay.
will.
Yes. Next time I will come to Bombay also. Yes.
1 second, Prabhu.
Guruji, I will come to Bombay next show. Whenever you want to take the class at Bombay, I will sure I will come there.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, next time. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Guruji. Thank you very much today.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. No problem. Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Sayana Mataji, how are you? I'm so happy to see you in person. Maybe I'm just. Yeah, anyhow.
This one.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Mahendra Shukla Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat
Hare
Pranam.
Krishna, Dandavat.
Hare
Pranams,
Krishna,
Prabhu,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Krishna, Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare.
Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare Rama,
Hare Hare.
Rama Rama,
Thank you,
Rama,
Guruji.
Hare Hare.
Wonderful class.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu. Very nice, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Vijay Raman, Prabhu, Hare Krishna. Anita Mataji, Hare Krishna. Chennuru Prabhu, Hare Krishna. So Hare Krishna, we will stop the Zoom now and we will continue again after another like an hour or so. I will send a message in our WhatsApp group when I join the Zoom again. Hare Krishna.